Have you ever wondered if your dog truly loves you, or if you're just the one who fills the food bowl? Here's the shocking truth. Most dogs don't show love the way we think they do. The wagging tail, the excited jumps. Those can be for anyone. But there are secret, almost hidden signs that dogs reserve only for the person who means the most to them. And if your dog shows even one of these rare behaviors, it's proof you're not just important. You're their entire world. So let's start with the very first hidden sign. And it might surprise you how simple, yet powerful, it really is. 1. They turn their back on you. Imagine this. Your dog curls up beside you at night, their warm fur brushing your arm. And then, without warning, they roll over and present you with their back. To the untrained eye, it almost feels like rejection, like they're ignoring you. But in the secret language of dogs, this is the ultimate act of faith. By turning their back, they're exposing their most vulnerable side, their spine, their organs, their very life, trusting you so completely that they can sleep in peace with no fear. Science backs this up. Studies from canine behaviorists at the University of Veterinary Medicine in Vienna have shown that dogs who sleep back-to-back or with their backs against trusted humans have lower cortisol levels, the stress hormone, and higher oxytocin, the bonding hormone. In other words, that simple act of turning away is actually a biological signal: I feel safe with you. You're my family. Think about it. How many people in your life would you feel safe enough to sleep back-to-back with, without even opening an eye? For dogs, this is sacred. They don't do it with strangers. They don't do it with acquaintances. They save this quiet, wordless gesture only for the one they trust above all. And here's the FOMO twist. If your dog has never once turned their back against you, curled up like a child against your presence, maybe you're not yet the one they see as their ultimate protector. That might sting, but it also means there's still room to grow this bond. Because when a dog chooses to give you their back, they're not rejecting you, they're embracing you in silence. It's their way of saying, "You're my shield. I can rest because you're here." And if you think that's powerful, wait until you discover what it really means when your dog deliberately blocks your path, something that looks stubborn but hides an entirely different truth. 2. They block your path. You're walking to the kitchen for a late-night snack, or maybe just heading to the bathroom, and suddenly, there's your dog sprawled out like a furry roadblock right in your way. At first, it feels like stubbornness. You sigh, step over them, maybe even get a little annoyed. But here's the hidden truth. Dogs don't block just anyone. When they plant themselves in front of you, they're not saying, "I'm in the way." They're really saying, "Don't forget me. I want to be part of your every move." Think of it as a soft barricade of love. In wolf packs, blocking or stepping into the path of another isn't random. Ethologists studying pack dynamics at the Wolf Science Center in Austria have observed that subordinate wolves often use this behavior as a way to initiate social interaction with the leader. In domestic dogs, the meaning carries over when they stand in your way. It's an instinctive invitation to connect. Now here's the kicker. Research published in the journal Applied Animal Behavior Science shows that dogs who actively position themselves in their owner's space, even blocking movement, demonstrate higher attachment scores on the canine attachment scale. In simple terms, it's science's way of proving what your heart already feels. Your dog is glued to you emotionally and physically. And here's where the FOMO hits. If your dog never gets in your way, never insists on being noticed by literally halting your steps, maybe they don't feel that magnetic pull toward you just yet. It's not rejection. It's a reminder that love this deep must be nurtured. So the next time your dog blocks the doorway, don't brush it off. See it for what it truly is, a gentle cry of "Don't pass me by." You matter to me, and I want to matter to you. But if that sounds tender, just wait until you feel the electric spark of a paw gently tapping your leg. A gesture so subtle, yet so loaded with meaning, it could change how you read your dog forever. 3. They tap you with their paw. Picture. This: you're sitting on the couch, lost in your phone, or maybe reading a book when suddenly you feel it, a small, deliberate paw pressing gently against your leg. Not a scratch, not a shove, just a soft, intentional touch. To many owners, it seems playful or random. But for dogs, that single tap is a message louder than words: I trust you. I need you. Look at me. It's not just cute, it's biological. Researchers at the University of Tokyo found that when dogs make gentle physical contact with their owners, including paw taps, oxytocin levels rise in both the dog and the human. Oxytocin is the hormone that mothers release when bonding with their newborns. Think about that for a second. Your dog is literally using their paw to trigger the same chemical pathways of love that connect a mother and child. And it goes even deeper. Behaviorists note that this pawing is rarely used with strangers. It's an intimate gesture reserved only for those who sit inside the circle of trust. Like a child tugging a parent's sleeve, your dog is reminding you that your attention is their greatest treasure. Here's where the FOMO twist stings. If your dog never reaches out with that gentle paw, you might be missing one of the strongest signals of emotional attachment. Imagine never being tapped on the shoulder by someone who truly loves you. Wouldn't that feel like something's missing? So the next time you feel that tiny paw against your skin, don't dismiss it. See it for what it is: a love note, written in touch. And if you think that's powerful, wait until you realize why your dog follows you everywhere, even into rooms where nothing is happening. That constant shadow at your heels isn't about boredom. It's about devotion. 4. They follow you everywhere. You close the bedroom door, step into the hallway, and before you even reach the kitchen, there they are. The sound of nails clicking against the floor, the shadow always at your heel. Sometimes you laugh, sometimes you sigh, but one thing is certain: your dog has chosen to orbit you like the moon around the earth. This isn't just habit, it's biology. A 2014 study published in Behavioral Processes revealed that dogs show proximity-seeking behavior most strongly toward their primary attachment figure, the one they see as their emotional anchor. Following you from room to room isn't about food or routine. It's the canine version of a heartbeat, an invisible thread that pulls them toward the person they cannot bear to lose sight of. Think about it. You're folding laundry, answering emails, maybe just sipping coffee. And yet, to your dog, this is prime time. They don't need entertainment. They don't crave activity. All they want is your presence. The silent statement is devastatingly simple: where you are is where I belong. Now, here's the sting of FOMO. If your dog never follows you, if they vanish into another room without a second thought, you might not be their chosen son. That realization can hurt. But it's also a challenge to become the one they long to shadow, the one they can't ignore. So the next time you hear those soft footsteps behind you, don't brush it off as clinginess. See it for what it really is: a love so loyal it refuses to let you walk through life alone. And if being followed feels moving, wait until you discover what it means when your dog brings you a gift, a toy, a sock, or something they treasure. That simple act may look messy, but it carries a meaning rooted deep in their ancestral code. 5. They bring you their treasures. You've seen it before: a soggy tennis ball dropped on your lap, a chewed-up slipper deposited at your feet, or even a random sock your dog parades proudly like a trophy. To us, It can look messy or inconvenient. But in the mind of a dog, this is not chaos, it's ceremony. They are offering you a piece of their world, a token that carries weight far beyond its appearance. Science explains this ancient ritual. In the wild, wolves often share food or objects with members of their pack to strengthen bonds and demonstrate trust. A study in Animal Cognition, 2017, showed that domestic dogs inherited this same instinct they carry and present valued objects to their pack leader not as a transaction, but as a symbol of unity. When your dog brings you a toy, it isn't just play, it's their way of saying, "This matters to me, so I want it to matter to you too." Think about that. In a world full of possessions, they choose to place their treasures at your feet. That's not ownership, it's devotion. It's as if they're handing you a small piece of their heart, wrapped up in squeaky rubber or old fabric. Here comes the FOMO sting. If your dog never brings you anything, not a toy, not even a scrap of their playthings, you might not yet hold that sacred place in their trust circle. And that realization should light a fire inside you, because few gestures scream loyalty louder than a dog sharing its prized possessions. So next time you trip over that toy in the hallway, remember it's not clutter. It's a love letter. And speaking of love letters, nothing is more powerful than the quiet moment when your dog leans their whole body into you. That weight against your side isn't just comfort. It's a living, breathing declaration of belonging. 6. They lean or rest on you. It happens in the quiet moments. You're sitting on the couch, lost in thought, when suddenly you feel a weight pressing gently against your side. Your dog leans in, rests their head on your lap, or pushes their whole body into yours. To an outsider, it looks like simple affection. But to your dog, this act is loaded with meaning. It's trust-made physical love translated into touch. Researchers at Azabu University in Japan discovered that when dogs make prolonged physical contact with their owners, like leaning or resting, oxytocin levels rise in both the human and the dog. Oxytocin, the love hormone, is the same chemical that bonds parents and children. That means when your dog presses their body into yours, their brain is literally flooding with the same chemicals that define human attachment. Imagine it like this. Leaning is the dog's way of dropping their armor. In the wild, no animal presses against another unless it feels utterly safe. By resting their weight on you, your dog is surrendering vulnerability, saying without words, "You are my anchor. You are my home." But here comes the FOMO sting. If your dog never leans into you, never rests their head on your lap, perhaps they haven't yet felt the depth of security that unlocks this gesture. That realization can ache, because few things cut deeper than knowing your dog doesn't see you as the soft place to fall. So the next time your dog melts into your side, don't just pet them absent-mindedly. Feel the message written in their weight, "I belong to you, and you belong to me." And if that sounds profound, wait until you notice the strangest of all bonds when your dog yawns right after you do. What looks like a simple coincidence is actually one of the clearest signs of emotional connection ever discovered. 7. They yawn. When you yawn. You stretch your arms, let out a tired yawn, and then, as if on cue, your dog yawns right after you. Coincidence? Hardly. In the mysterious language of dogs, this shared yawn is not about sleep at all. It's about empathy. It's about connection so deep that even your body rhythms start to sync. Science has already peeled back the curtain on this. A landmark study from the University of Tokyo found that dogs are significantly more likely to yawn in response to their owner's yawn than to a stranger's. This phenomenon, known as contagious yawning, is strongly tied to emotional closeness. In humans, it happens mostly among family and close friends. For dogs, it's reserved for the person who has earned their deepest trust. Think of it like two hearts beating in harmony. Your dog isn't tired. They're mirroring you, almost as if to whisper, I feel what you feel. I'm with you. It's empathy without words. Proof that their bond with you isn't just physical, it's emotional, biological, almost spiritual. But here's the FOMO sting: if your dog never yawns when you do, perhaps that invisible thread of empathy hasn't been fully woven yet. And that thought should make you wonder, are you their true emotional center? Or just a figure in the background, so the next time you see that wide-mouthed stretch, echo yours, don't laugh it off. Treasure it. It's a mirror of love, a reflection of your bond glowing in the simplest gesture. And if you think yawning is intimate, wait until you feel the warm, unexpected touch of your dog's tongue. Because when a dog licks you without reason, it's not about taste, it's about declaring you as family. 8. They lick you without reason. You're sitting quietly, maybe watching TV, maybe lost in your thoughts, when suddenly you feel it. A warm, wet tongue against your hand, your arm sometimes even across your face. There's no food in your palm, no treat involved, no reason you can see. To many, it's a little messy. To your dog, it's a love letter written in saliva. This isn't random, it's primal. From the moment they are born, puppies are licked by their mothers, cleaned, soothed, and reassured that they are safe. That early ritual imprints on their brains as the purest form of comfort. Researchers from the University of Veterinary Medicine in Vienna discovered that when dogs lick their humans, both species experience a measurable rise in oxytocin, the same hormone that bonds infants and parents. In other words, every lick is a chemical signature of love. And here's the hidden beauty: your dog doesn't lick strangers like this. They save it for the one they've chosen, the one they consider part of their inner circle. To them, licking is not about taste, it's about belonging. It's their way of saying, you are my family, my safe place, my heart. But here comes the sting of FOMO. If your dog never licks you without a clear reason, you might not yet be carved into that sacred space of unconditional love. And realizing that can shake you. Because in the quiet world of dogs, few things shout louder than the soft, sticky brush of a tongue. So the next time your dog licks you out of nowhere, don't wrinkle your nose. Let it sink in. You are being claimed, cherished, embraced in the oldest language they know. And now that you've uncovered all these hidden signs, ask yourself, how many does your dog show you? Because the answer may just reveal whether you're their provider or their one and only soulmate. So now you've seen it, the secret signals, the quiet gestures, the hidden ways your dog tells you, you are my world. From a gentle paw tap to a sleepy yawn that echoes yours, every action is a silent confession of loyalty. But here's the real question. How many of these signs does your dog show you? 3. Maybe all of them. If your answer is not, many don't feel discouraged. Bonds aren't fixed, they grow. Every walk, every moment of patience, every time you sit quietly and let them lean on you, it's another brick in the bridge between your heart and theirs. And one day, you'll wake up to find that your dog trusts you with their back, their treasures, and their deepest love. But here's your challenge. Don't just watch this video and move on. Look for these signs in your own life. Notice them. Cherish them. Because once you recognize how your dog speaks to you, you'll never see them the same way again. Tell me in the comments, what's the one thing your dog does that melts your heart every single time? I'd love to hear your stories. Because together, we're building a community that celebrates the most loyal love on earth. And before you go, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell, because the next video will reveal another truth most dog owners completely miss. Trust me, you won't want to discover it too late. You think dogs show love by wagging their tails wrong. What if I told you your dog might already be honoring you in quiet, sacred ways most owners never even notice? No medals, no speeches, just hidden rituals that prove something far deeper: your dog has chosen you. In today's video, you'll discover 7 shocking signs your dog secretly sees you as family, and the last one will completely change how you look at your pet. Welcome to Dog Facts and Fun, where we decode the silent language of love between you and your dog. But before you realize it, your dog may have already given you the highest honor of all, and it starts with one small gesture you probably missed. Honor number 1. When your dog shows the belly. The silent surrender of trust. Have you ever seen your dog roll over paws in the air, eyes half closed, waiting? Most people laugh, thinking it's just a cute request for a belly rub. But what if I told you that moment is one of the deepest declarations of trust a dog can ever give? In the wild, the belly is life's most fragile place, no armor, no defense. No wolf exposes it unless they believe beyond fear that the one standing above them will protect, not harm. So when your dog flops down like that before you, they're whispering in their own language, "I am safe here." Think about it. How often do you truly let your guard down? We humans walk through life armored by habits, routines, and worries. But your dog, they let go completely in your presence. That's not obedience. That's surrender. And surrender never comes from fear. It only blooms from trust earned over time through patience, tone, and the quiet rhythm of daily kindness. Scientists at the University of Vienna once described this behavior as a marker of secure attachment, the same kind of emotional bond seen between a child and a parent. They trust completely. Isn't that beautiful? A simple roll, a soft sigh, and yet it carries the weight of a lifelong promise. Next time you see that belly, don't rush for the rub. Pause. Notice the stillness. Feel that invisible thread stretching between you, the one that says, "I'd give you my softest part because you've never heard it." That's not just affection. That's reverence. And here's the twist most people miss. Not every belly roll means love. Some are fear, others submission. The true one feels different: loose muscles, soft eyes, slow breathing. It's not about showing weakness, it's about showing faith. So tonight when your dog rolls over beside you, remember that's not playtime. That's a vow. And if that kind of trust can live inside one small heartbeat on 4 legs, wait until you see how they protect you when you sleep. Honor number 2. The night guard. When your dog sleeps with its back against you. Picture this. It's late. The house is quiet. You climb into bed, the lights fade, and there's that soft thump. Your dog jumps up beside you. They circle once, twice, maybe sigh, then settle down. But instead of curling into your arms, they turn their back to you, facing the door. Have you ever wondered why? It feels a little distant, doesn't it? Like they're choosing space over closeness. But what if that distance is their most loyal gesture of all in the old world? Long before leashes and living rooms, dogs were guardians. War dogs in ancient Rome slept back to back with soldiers not for warmth, but for survival. One watched while the other rested. It was a wordless contract. If danger comes, I'll face it first. That instinct didn't disappear with time. It only softened into love. When your dog presses their spine against yours, they're not pulling away. They're building a shield. They're saying, "You can rest now. I've got the door." It's poetic, isn't it? 2 heartbeats face in opposite directions, protecting each other's blind spot. You, the dreamer. Them, the sentinel. It's a formation born from trust so old it's etched into their DNA. And here's something most people never notice. Dogs don't guard everyone. Even in a big family, they choose the person they feel most responsible for. If that's you, it means your dog has silently promoted you to pack leader of the heart. Sometimes, when they sigh before settling in, it's not exhaustion. It's a signal, a quiet readiness, a soft soldier's breath before a watchful night. And you're already asleep, never realizing someone's keeping vigil just 3 inches away. So, the next time you feel that warm weight against your back, don't shift away. Know that you've been chosen to be protected. That's not distance, that's devotion. And here's what makes it even more fascinating sometimes, that loyalty runs deeper than instinct, deeper than duty. It can turn into something heartbreakingly human sacrifice. And in the next honor, you'll see what happens when a dog uses its greatest strength. To be gentle. Snooter 3. Love nibbles. When teeth become a promise. Not a threat, have you ever felt your dog take your hand gently between their teeth? No pressure, no bite, just the softest touch. It's strange, isn't it? For a second, your instinct tenses up. Teeth mean danger. Yet in that moment, there's no fear, only tenderness. What if I told you that's not random play, but one of the most intimate gestures your dog could ever give? From the moment they're born, dogs learn life through their mouths. Pups bite, chew, and test boundaries. They wrestle with their litter mates and learn an ancient rule: bite too hard, and the game ends. Through that, they master what scientists call bite inhibition, the ability to control power with precision. It's the first lesson in empathy, written in muscle and nerve. So when an adult dog gently mouths your hand, they're not just playing. They're showing restraint, the kind born from complete trust. It's their way of saying, I know my strength, and I choose not to use it with you. Think about that for a moment. How often do humans do the same? To hold back power, to be soft, even when you could be strong. That's love in its purest form. Your dog doesn't offer that to strangers, not even to other animals. It's reserved for you, the one who's earned both their affection and their respect. And there's something beautifully symbolic about it. The same mouth that could wound is now the instrument of gentleness. It's like a soldier laying down their weapon, or a lion letting its cub climb over its face. In that instant, all instinct yields to connection. Next time it happens, don't pull away. Feel it. That's not a test. It's a confession. It's your dog saying, I trust you with my wildness. And just when you think it couldn't get more personal, wait until you learn the next secret. Because the next gesture happens so close, it's almost a whisper. And it involves your ear. Anorima 4. The sacred kiss. When your dog licks your ears or nose. It happens so fast you almost laugh. Your dog pushes close, tongue flicking against your ear or brushing your nose. You wipe your face, maybe even scold them a little. Not realizing what just happened wasn't sloppy affection. It was ceremony. In the secret language of dogs, those licks aren't random. They're sacred. They belong to the ones who've earned a place no one else can reach. In a wolf pack, licking the face or ears isn't play. It's hierarchy and heart intertwined. The young lick the elders in respect. Mates do it to reaffirm a bond. It's a ritual older than memory, a silent exchange that says, we're family. So when your dog leans in to touch the most vulnerable part of you, your face, your senses, your breath, they're offering something wordless yet profound: proximity, born of trust. Here's what science adds to the poetry. Alexandra Horowitz, one of the world's leading canine researchers, found that dogs can detect chemical shifts in our sweat at parts per trillion. Every lick on your skin is a tiny reading of your mood, your stress, your sadness. They aren't just tasting you, they're listening. A lick near your ear might mean calmness, safety. A nudge toward your nose might mean focus or protection. They're reading your emotional weather like an old sailor reading the wind. It's strange, isn't it? How an act that looks messy is actually medicine. Maybe that's why they always seem to know when you're upset, because long before you speak, they've already read the storm in your scent. So the next time that warm tongue touches your face, pause before you pull away. Let it happen. That's not a kiss. That's a declaration. I trust you with my senses, my closeness, my breath. And just when you think that intimacy can't go any deeper, your dog does something even braver. They let you touch the one place nature told them to guard with their life. And that moment changes everything. Honor number 5. The paw of surrender. When your dog lets you hold their feet, have you ever tried to touch your dog's paw and felt them pull away quick as lightning, as if you'd reached for something sacred? Most owners think it's just sensitivity or stubbornness. But the truth runs far deeper. You were reaching for the one part of their body evolution taught them to protect with their life. In the wild, paws are survival. They're the compass, the weapon, the only way to run, dig, and fight. To a dog, a paw isn't just a limb, it's identity. Every nerve inside it hums with memory and instinct. And yet one day your dog simply rests that paw in your palm. No tension, no fear, just stillness. Have you ever wondered what that means? It's the quietest way a dog says, I trust you more than I trust my instincts. That moment is a bridge between two species, a handshake that evolution never planned but love insisted on building. Scientists call it tactile bonding, but in truth it's something more human than scientific. When you hold their paw gently, you're not just touching fur and skin. You're touching thousands of years of survival programming, and your dog is letting it all go just for you. Look closely the next time it happens. The way their eyes soften, the tiny exhale, the slow release of muscle. That's not obedience. That's surrender, the kind of surrender we only give when we know the other will never hurt us. Maybe that's why some people say dogs don't have words, but they speak with their bodies. Because that paw in your hand, that's their signature on a silent contract of love. And yet, as beautiful as that surrender is, there's a version of devotion that goes even further. It's when your dog doesn't offer their paw or their belly, but their time, their presence, their entire being, and refuses to leave your side when you're hurting. That's not instinct anymore. That's empathy. And what happens in that moment will move you more than any word ever could. Honor number 6. The guardian heart, when your dog refuses to leave you in pain. You know that feeling when everything goes quiet, when the room feels heavier, the air thick with sadness, and somehow before anyone else notices, your dog is already there. No commands, no treats, just a silent presence pressed against your knee-eyes, soft breathing in rhythm with yours. Have you ever wondered how they always know it's not magic? It's empathy coded into muscle and scent, sharpened through centuries of watching human faces. Scientists once ran an experiment where dogs could hear their owners crying behind a closed door. The only way to reach them was to push it open. Heart rates spiked. Many panicked. And yet they pushed through. Not to escape, but to comfort. That's what love looks like when it can't use words. When you're sick, they won't leave the bedside. When you grieve, they sit at your feet, quiet, refusing to be distracted. Their fur becomes a kind of therapy blanket, their gaze a mirror that says, I see your pain, and I'm not going anywhere. And the truth is, no one taught them this. They learned it from watching you. Every sigh, every tear, every heartbeat out of sync. They remember it all. There's a story from the Philippines about a dog named Kabang who threw herself in front of a speeding motorcycle to save 2 children. She lost half her face, but lived, and for years after, guarded the same street, same family, as if protecting them was written in her soul. Not every act of loyalty makes the news, but in living rooms across the world, there are countless quiet versions of Kabang lying beside someone's hospital bed, resting a chin on a trembling hand, waiting for the storm to pass. So the next time you cry and feel a wet nose nudge your arm, don't brush it away. That's not sympathy. That's devotion. That's your dog's heart saying, if you hurt, I'll stand guard here until you heal. But devotion doesn't always arrive as silence or sacrifice. Sometimes it walks toward you carrying something small, a gift, a token of love, a piece of their world placed right at your feet. And the reason behind that final honor might just change the way you see every toy, slipper, or sock they've ever brought you. Honor to Fueven, the gift ritual. When your dog brings you its most prized possession, it usually happens when you least expect it. You're sitting on the couch, lost in thought, and suddenly your dog appears, tail wagging, eyes bright, carrying something in their mouth. Maybe it's an old tennis ball, a favorite toy, a sock you've been searching for all week. They drop it at your feet, waiting. To you, it might look like play, but to them, it's ceremony. Have you ever wondered why they do it, why they bring you their treasure instead of keeping it safe? In a dog's world, possessions are survival. In the wild, every bone, every scrap, every piece of food was earned. Shared resources were rare and precious. Offering them to another meant trust so complete it broke instinct. So when your dog brings you their favorite toy, the one they guard from other dogs, they're not asking for fetch. They're saying, what's mine is yours. It's the canine version of saying, I choose you as my pack. There's something achingly human about that gesture. The toy might be chewed, soggy, ruined, but that doesn't matter because they've chosen to share what they love most, even if it's broken. Isn't that what love is? Giving away something that carries your scent, your comfort, your history, and hoping it brings the other joy? Sometimes the gift isn't even a toy. It might be your slipper, a branch, a leaf, something random they found on a walk. But if you look closer, each item holds a pattern, your scent, your touch, something that connects you both. They're not collecting objects, they're collecting memories, and then offering them back to you. So next time your dog drops something at your feet, don't laugh it off. Kneel down. Look them in the eye. Because that tiny, chewed-up object is their love letter written in teeth marks and trust. It's their way of saying, you matter more to me than my instinct to keep what's mine. And when you add it all up, the belly, the watchful nights, the soft bites, the paw in your hand, the gifts at your feet, you'll realize something profound. Dogs may never speak our language, but through every silent ritual, they've been saying one thing all along: you are their chosen human. And that, perhaps, is the greatest honor of all. When you piece it all together, the quiet belly-up surrender, the watchful nights, the gentle bites, the sacred licks, the trusting paw, the silent guarding the gifts laid at your feet, you start to see it clearly, don't you? Dogs don't love the way we do. They don't say it. They don't promise it. They live it. Every tiny gesture is a chapter in the same unspoken story. You are my person, my home, my forever. It's easy to forget how rare that is in a world that moves too fast, where loyalty fades, And love is measured in words instead of actions. But your dog, they don't need words. They've been showing you devotion in 1,000 invisible ways every single day. And maybe, just maybe, that's why we don't deserve them. But somehow, they keep choosing us anyway. So tonight, when your dog curls up beside you, paw-twitching, breath slow, dreaming, take a second and really see them. Remember, this creature who asks for nothing has already given you everything. Their trust, their patience, their heart. Here at Dog Facts and Fun, we believe every tail wag, every sigh, every quiet glance tells a story worth hearing. And if you felt something in this video, if you saw your dog a little differently tonight, then stay with us. Because there's so much more to uncover about how dogs love, think, and heal us in ways science is only beginning to understand. Hit subscribe, turn on the bell, and join a community that doesn't just own dogs, but truly understands them. Because the greatest story you'll ever live might be lying right there asleep at your feet. Dogs are famous for their loyalty and endless affection, but imprinting is on another level. It's not just love, it's a bond so rare that it transforms you from being the owner into their world. When a dog imprints, it means they trust you with every heartbeat, every breath. This invisible thread goes beyond cuddles and wagging tails. It's about safety, survival, and unconditional belonging. So how do you know if your dog has given you this once-in-a-lifetime gift? Let's dive into the 10 powerful signs that reveal your dog has truly imprinted on you. 1. Sleeping beside you, picture. The night is quiet, the world outside fades into shadows, and your dog chooses to curl right against you. To us, it may look like just a sweet bedtime cuddle, but to your dog, it's far more than that. In the wild, no wolf or stray would ever close their eyes unless they felt safe with the pack around them. Sleep is the most vulnerable state a creature can enter. It's surrender, it's trust. When your dog lays beside you, chest rising and falling with your breath, they are whispering a silent truth. You are my pack. With you, I can let my guard down. Your warmth is not just physical comfort. To them, it is survival. That steady heartbeat becomes a lullaby, your scent, a blanket woven from memories of safety. Every night, they tuck themselves into that invisible cocoon of your presence, because in their world, there is no safer place than by your side. And when you shift in your sleep, they stir too, as if their soul is tied to yours by an invisible thread. But imprinting doesn't stop at the edge of the bed. The bond spills into the daylight, shaping how they walk, how they feel, even how they reflect the rhythm of your own personality. Because the dog who sleeps beside you at night is the same dog who mirrors your every mood when the sun rises. And that, my friend, is where the next sign reveals itself. 2. Mirroring your personality. Have you ever looked at your dog and thought, wow, they're starting to act just like me? It's not your imagination. Dogs are like emotional mirrors, polishing every little piece of you until they shine it back in their own behavior. If you're the type who loves lazy Sunday afternoons with coffee and silence, you'll notice your dog curling up in the same rhythm of calm. But if you're the early riser pounding the pavement with sneakers hitting the ground at dawn, don't be surprised when your furry shadow bounces beside you, tail wagging, ready for the same thrill of movement. It's more than routine, it's energy. They don't just watch you, they absorb you like sponges soaking up the mood of your heart. If worry sits heavy in your chest, They carry that same tension in their eyes and posture. If joy bubbles over in your laughter, they turn that into leaps, spins, and playful nudges. In a way, your dog becomes a living reflection of your inner world, silently proving how deep this invisible connection runs. And this mirroring is not random. It's their way of saying, I choose you, I tune to you, I belong with you. But how far does that bond go? Well, it shows up most clearly when they ignore everyone else's voice, but never yours. And that takes us straight to the next sign. 3. Listening to you above others. Think about the noise of daily life. Different voices calling laughter spilling across the room, the shuffle of footsteps, even the TV humming in the background. Yet in that sea of sound, your dog's ears swivel, their eyes lock, and they wait, only for your voice. It's as if the world blurs into static, and you are the one clear station they are always tuned into. When you speak, it isn't just words, it's a frequency, a rhythm their heart has memorized. This is no accident. It comes from countless small moments, the way you guide them with patience, the tone you use when you praise the body language that assures them you are steady and trustworthy. Over time, your voice becomes their compass. Others might try to call, but your dog knows who has earned the right to lead. And in those quiet seconds of obedience, they are not just following commands, they are honoring the bond that makes you their chosen person. But it doesn't end when the sound fades. Even when you're gone, the echo of your presence lingers stitched into the very fabric of their world. That's why the next sign often appears in the most ordinary, even messy places, like a pile of laundry. And to your dog, that pile isn't clutter at all. It's sanctuary. 4. Seeking out your scent. To you, that heap of laundry on the floor might look like nothing more than a chore waiting to happen. But to your dog, it's a treasure chest. Every shirt, every sock, every wrinkle of fabric carries your invisible fingerprint, the scent that says, home. When they burrow into it, pressing their nose deep as if diving into memory, they are wrapping themselves in you. It's their way of holding on to your presence, even when you're not there. For a dog's smell isn't just a sense, it's a map of the heart. The faint trace of your perfume, the salt of your skin, the warmth of your day clings to those clothes, like whispers only they can read. And when they stretch out on that pile, sighing in contentment, it's as if they've found the softest, safest bed in the world. To them, your scent is comfort, safety, and love stitched into cloth. It's not about fabric. It's about belonging. And sometimes it's more than just soothing, it's a declaration. By mixing their own scent with yours, they're quietly claiming you as part of their territory, as if to say, this human is mine. It's tender, it's primal, and it's powerful. But scent is only one doorway into this hidden language of love. There's another sign even more profound that shows just how deeply your dog feels you. It's when they sense your sadness before a single tear falls. 5. Comforting you when you're sad. There are moments when words collapse, when silence fills the room heavier than stone, and tears slip down without permission. You think you're alone in that sadness until you feel a wet nose nudging your hand, or the weight of a furry head pressing against your lap. That's your dog stepping quietly into your storm, as if to say, I can't fix this, but I won't let you carry it alone. Dogs read us in ways science still struggles to explain. It isn't only the trembling voice or the slump in your shoulders they notice. It's the invisible chemistry of sadness. the shift in your scent, the rhythm of your breathing, the stillness in your eyes. Thousands of years beside humans have given them this gift, an instinctive ability to tune into our hearts. And when they come to comfort you, it isn't out of habit. It's pure devotion, an unspoken promise carved into their very being. Some bring toys, others lick away tears, but most just stay still, steady, and loyal. Sometimes their silence is the loudest form of love. Because in their world, presence is the cure. And here's the thing. This deep attunement doesn't vanish when sadness passes. It shapes the way they move around you every single day. You'll notice it most when they keep glancing back as if checking, "Are you still here? Are we still together?" And that leads us straight into the next sign. 6. Always checking. Have you ever noticed the way your dog keeps turning back to look at you on a walk, as if the world is too wide to face, without your eyes guiding them? It's not random glances, it's a lifeline. In the wild, canines constantly check on their pack leader, making sure the group is intact, safe, and moving as one. Your dog carries that same ancient instinct, but now, instead of scanning a forest trail, they're scanning your every step, every pause, every breath. Even inside the house, this instinct follows. You stand to grab a glass of water, and those paws pad right behind you. You move from room to room, and there's your shadow, soft and steady. It's more than attachment. It's reassurance. They're silently asking, "Are you still with me? Am I still safe?" And each time you meet their gaze, or reach down for a gentle pat, you're answering, "Yes, I'm here." This ritual of checking in strengthens their trust, and with every glance, the bond tightens like invisible threads, weaving you closer together. It's a dance of presence, one leading, one following, yet both bound in mutual need. But checking in is only half the story. Sometimes the bond becomes so strong that they dare to do what most dogs in nature would never risk, holding your gaze steady and unbroken. And in that quiet lock of eyes, a different kind of love story unfolds. 7. Gazing into your eyes. In the world of dogs, locking eyes is not a gesture of peace. It's a challenge, a warning, a test of power. Yet your dog breaks that ancient rule every time they lift their gaze and let it rest on yours. There's no threat in their stare, no battle to win. Instead, it's soft, unguarded, and almost human in its tenderness. In that moment, they are telling you something no bark or wag could ever express. "I trust you completely. I love you beyond instinct." Scientists have found that when a dog holds your gaze, something extraordinary happens inside both of you. Oxytocin, the very hormone that bonds mothers to babies, floods your systems. That means the love you feel when your eyes meet isn't an illusion. It's biology writing poetry through your veins. Every look becomes a silent conversation, a promise, a reassurance that you belong to each other in ways words could never capture. And maybe you've felt it too, that strange pause when time seems to bend, when you look back and see your reflection swimming in their dark, patient eyes. It's not just a stare, it's a bridge built from trust spanning the distance between two different species. But imprinting isn't only in the eyes. Sometimes it shows in movement, in the way they shadow your steps from room to room, as if afraid of losing sight of their world. Which brings us to the next sign, one that proves loyalty doesn't need words, only footsteps. 8. Following you from room to room. You stand up from the couch, maybe just to grab a glass of water, and suddenly there's the soft sound of paws against the floor. You walk into the kitchen, and those paws follow. You head to the bathroom, and yes, they're right there, waiting outside the door. It might make you laugh or even wonder, why can't I have a moment alone? But to your dog, following you from room to room isn't clinginess. It's devotion in motion. Think of it this way. In the wild, no wolf would ever drift too far from its pack. Safety meant staying close, moving together, breathing as one. Your dog has carried that ancient law into your home, but instead of a forest path, it's the hallway, the living room, the kitchen. Every step you take is a silent beacon, and they move toward it because distance feels unnatural. To them, you are the pack, the anchor, the center of their world. And while some might call it separation anxiety, more often it's a declaration, where you go, I belong. That loyalty expressed in paw prints trailing behind you is both touching and humbling. Yet dogs don't just follow with their feet, they follow with their hearts. And sometimes they bring you proof of that loyalty in the sweetest way possible by placing their most treasured possession right at your feet. Which leads us into the next sign. 9. Bringing you their favorite toy. One day you're sitting quietly, and suddenly a little nose nudges your arm. You look down, and there it is, their favorite toy dropped right at your feet. Maybe it's a squeaky ball worn soft from countless games, or a stuffed animal with one ear missing. To anyone else, it's just a chewed-up object. But to your dog, it's treasure. And the fact that they choose to give it to you says everything. Dogs don't part with what they love easily. That toy carries their joy, their comfort, their playtime memories. Handing it over isn't just an invitation to play, it's an offering. It's as if they're saying, "This makes me happy, and I want to share that happiness with you." In the animal world, that kind of sharing is rare, almost sacred. It's the heart's way of showing trust without words. And sometimes, it's not even about the game. Even if you don't throw the ball or tug on the rope, they'll sit there, eyes glowing, simply proud to have placed their joy into your hands. It's their way of weaving you deeper into their world, making you part of the things they hold most dear. But the truest test of imprinting comes not in toys, nor even in daily habits. It's in the way they greet you every single time, as if you were the best part of their universe. And that brings us to the final sign. 10. Greeting you like you're their world. The door creaks open, and before you've even stepped inside, there's a whirlwind waiting. Paws dance against the floor, tails blur into a frenzy, and eyes shine like you've been gone for years, even if it's only been 10 minutes. That moment when your dog greets you is pure, unfiltered devotion. To them, your return is not routine. It's a miracle that repeats itself every single day. Think of how rare that is in a world where humans grow numb to patterns. Coffee every morning, traffic every evening. Your dog refuses to treat your presence as ordinary. Instead, every homecoming is a festival, a celebration of belonging. Their joy is explosive, uncontrollable, the kind of joy only a heart untainted by doubt can feel. And in those seconds, you realize you are their sunrise, their anchor, their favorite chapter in every story. Some leap, some spin, some whimper in happiness, but all of them say the same thing without words. You are my world, and nothing compares to this moment with you. That greeting is the final seal of imprinting, the clearest proof that in their eyes you are irreplaceable. And so, from the quiet of shared sleep to the fireworks of reunion at the door, these 10 signs weave a single truth. When a dog imprints on you, it's a love that rewrites what loyalty means. A bond so rare, it doesn't just last a lifetime, it defines it. So there you have it, 10 powerful signs that your dog has imprinted on you. From the quiet nights when they press against you in sleep, to the blazing joy of their greetings at the door, each moment is a thread in a tapestry of loyalty and love that no words can ever fully capture. If you've seen even one of these signs in your own home, then you know you're not just an owner. You're their family, their safe place, their whole world. But here's the beautiful part. This bond isn't one-sided. Every smile you share, every gentle touch, every moment of patience adds to that invisible connection. And in return, your dog teaches you something humans often forget, that love doesn't need conditions or explanations or even words. It just needs presence. Before you go, I'd love to hear your story. Has your dog ever shown one of these signs in a way that touched you deeply? Drop it in the comments below. I read every single one. And your story might just comfort or inspire another dog lover watching right now. And if this video made you smile, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and join our little community of people who know what it means to be truly loved by a dog. Because there's so much more to uncover about the silent language they share with us, and trust me, you won't want to miss what comes next.